Legends of creepy dogs echo through history, but none rival the terror of East Anglia, England's Black Shuck. A spectral black hound that scared the shit out of folks for centuries. Some claim this beast is as huge as a horse, with fiery red eyes that'll damn near stop your heart. Is this freaky hellhound a real ghost, or just bullshit cooked up by superstitious minds? Stay tuned, because I'm plunging headfirst into the twisted tale of this ghostly nightmare dog. Brace yourself for a chilling trek that'll have you wondering what sinister secrets howl beneath the darkness. All right, let's kick this off. Meet Black Shuck, England's most infamous shadowy canine. Sometimes called Old Shuck or just Shuck. This ain't some cute little puppy you'd pet at the park. No, we're talking about a ghostly beast that's been freaking people the fuck out for ages. Picture a massive black dog, eyes glowing like hellfire, stalking the shadows of East Anglia. This thing's got a reputation that'd make even the bravest bastard think twice before wandering out alone. It's the kind of legend that sticks to your bones, and we're about to peel it apart. So, what's the deal with this phantom hound? Is it real, or am I barking up the wrong tree? Well, it's tied to folklore, fear, and those foggy-ass nights where you can't see shit. The Black Shuck isn't just a story. It's a vibe, a chill that creeps up when the world gets quiet. People have whispered about it forever, blending terror with curiosity. And it's got layers we're gonna unpack. From old tales to modern shivers, this fucker's left a mark that's hard to shake. It's all about the mystery, the mood, and the mayhem it brings. As always, I'm fixing to dive deep here, folks. We'll dig into its fucked up history, the sightings that make your skin crawl, and what it all might mean. Ever heard a growl in the dark and wondered what the hell's out there? This could be your answer, or at least a damn good guess. So let's step into the mist, unravel this creepy-ass tale, and see where it takes us. Ready to chase the shadows? Good, because the old roots of this beast are calling. Let's cannonball into the murky-ass cradle of this legend. Medieval East Anglia, where Black Shuck first crept into existence. This wasn't some cozy hamlet with happy endings. Think muddy tracks, flickering torches, and a sky that pressed down like a lid. Villages huddled against the dark, and that's where this eerie hound took root. Born from a time when every rustle felt like a threat. The name Shuck isn't just cool, it's got fucking weight. Pulled from the Old English skucka, it means devil or fiend. That's a title you don't toss around lightly. It's a guttural growl from folks who knew evil had a shape. Hell, it might even stretch back to Anglo-Saxon hunting terms for a lurking predator. Whatever kicked it off, that name's been a dark torch passed through generations, lighting up tales that refuse to die. Now, let's eyeball this spiritual canine, because Black Shuck isn't your neighbor's labradoodle. Picture a dog so massive it could stare down a horse. Broad shoulders, legs like pillars, and fur blacker than a moonless night. Its eyes are the real nightmare though, glowing red or green, depending on the witness, like flaming embers or swamp gas cutting through the haze. They're not just bright, they're alive, locking onto you with a stare that promises evil. It's as silent as a grave. No barking or panting, just a hulking shadow that moves like it owns the fog. In older yarns, some swear it's got a single eye, a cyclops of doom, while others paint it with a coat that ripples like smoke. This thing's too damn big and too unearthly. This legend's got roots deeper than a fucking oak, tangled in the myths that washed over East Anglia. The Norse stormed in centuries back, dragging tales of Odin's wolves, Jerry and Freki, lean and vicious, tearing through the wild. Then there's the hellhounds, those snarling guards of the Norse afterlife, pacing icy realms with jaws like traps. Blend that with Christian panic, priests railing about Satan's minions, and you've got a recipe for Black Shuck. The Vikings left their mark on this land, their longships rotting in the estuaries, while their stories seeped into the dirt. Local pagans had their own bog spirits too, half-seen things tied to the marshes. It's like the Shuck sucked up every shred of dread from those worlds, turning into a beast that's both God-sent and hell-spawned, a nightmare cocktail served cold. Here's where it gets wild as shit. Black Shuck isn't always the bad guy. Sure, it's got that Doombringer rep. Cross its path and you're pretty much fucked. But some folks saw it different. In lonely corners of East Anglia, they'd whisper about it guiding lost souls home. A hulking shape cutting through blinding fog to nudge wanderers back to safety. Others claimed it patrolled the coast, a guardian snarling at raiders or worse strange things creeping in from the sea. Picture a farmer, half dead in a storm, spotting those glowing eyes and feeling relief instead of dread. It's a coin toss. One night, it's your death. The next, it's your savior. That split makes it very unpredictable. A force with its own rules, like it's testing who's worth sparing. No one's sure why it flips. Maybe it's tied to the land's mood. Maybe it just likes fucking with us. But that duality's what keeps the tales buzzing. This story's got legs longer than a porn star's reach in a gangbang scene. It started with medieval peasants muttering by peat fires, voices low as they swapped Shuck sightings like contraband. By 1577, it hit a peak, bursting into churches in Bungay and Blytheburg on the same August day. Claw marks, later called the devil's fingerprints, scorched into doors as panicked congregations screamed. A preacher named Abraham Fleming caught it on paper, his pamphlet howling about a strange and terrible wonder, complete with woodcuts of a devil dog mid-rampage. The land fed it. East Anglia's a maze of salt marshes, wind-swept heaths, and fog that chokes the stars. Perfect for a phantom to thrive. Over time, it slipped into ballads sung in smoky taverns, etched into tombstones, even carved above pub doors like a sick welcome sign. It wasn't just fear, it was pride, a badge of surviving the Shuck's turf. Farmers blamed it for sour milk or lost sheep. while priests spun it into sermons about sin. It's woven so tight into the culture, you can't walk a mile without tripping over its goddamn echo. So there's your lore. Centuries of fog-soaked terror, church-wrecking chaos, and a beast that's both a curse and keeper. But stories like this don't just sit in the past and fester. They've got teeth, and they've bitten into living memory. Hold tight, because Shuck's crossed paths with folks who've got tales to tell, and some of those run-ins you are not gonna believe. Let's begin with the encounter that started it all. August 4th, 1577, in Bungay, Suffolk. A thunderstorm's tearing the sky apart, lightning cracking like a dominatrix whip, when Black Shuck storms St. Mary's Church. Picture this. Folks are packed in the church like a stripper's tits in a push-up bra. They were praying their asses off for God to protect them during the storm, when with a clap of thunder, the doors blast open, and this massive bastard charges down the aisle. It's complete chaos. People screaming, pews rattling, the air thick with ozone and fear. Witnesses swore it had eyes like glowing coals, red and unblinking. As it tore past two guys kneeling, it snapped their goddamn necks like wet rags in one swift movement. The storm continued to rage, but that fucker vanished into the dark, leaving the congregation shitting bricks. Minutes later, just 12 miles away, Black Shuck hits Holy Trinity Church in Blytheburg. The storm's still howling, rain hammering, thunder growling, when this hulking shadow barrels in. Those fiery eyes lock onto three souls. It brushes past and they drop fucking dead. No marks, just gone. Then the steeple collapses, bricks raining down as the beast bolts out. Locals found claw scars on the north door, black and burned, like it clawed its way back to hell. Damn, 2 churches, 1 day. This thing wasn't fucking around. Fast forward to 1890, near Leiston Abbey's ruins. Shit gets eerie again. A farmer's trudging home through the dusk, fog curling around his boots, when he spots a shape on the pasture. It's Black Shuck, looming like a goddamn nightmare, bigger than his cart horse, eyes green and simmering. He freezes. It doesn't move, just stares, silent as a tomb. The air's heavy. His breath catches, and he swears he hears a low hum, like the earth's pissed off. Minutes drag. Then it turns, melting into the mist without a sound. He bolts home, pale as death, saying it felt like Judgment Day got stuck. By the 1920s, this thing is prowling Norfolk's back roads. A guy's walking along the road near Overstrand, moon barely cutting the dark, when he hears, well, nothing. Just pure, creepy-ass silence. Then, there it is, Black Shuck blocking the path, red eyes blazing like brake lights from hell. Its massive shoulders hunched, fur swallowing the shadows. He stumbles back, heart hammering. It doesn't growl, doesn't blink, just paces sideways, slow and deliberate. He smells wet earth and something sour like decay. After a stare down that feels like forever, it slips into the ditch, gone, leaving him shaking and swearing he'll never walk that fucking road again. Back in 1945, post-war Britain's a shit show, and this couple's holed up in a rickety hut in Walberswick, smack between salt marshes and Dunwich Forest. Not exactly a dream vacation, but yeah, you make do. One night, they're jolted awake by something hammering their door. None of that polite tap-tap bullshit. We're talking full-on battering ram vibes. They peek out and holy shit! There's this massive beast with matted black fur and one blood-red eye slamming itself against the door. Freaked out, they stack every damn chair and table they've got to barricade it. But this thing's relentless. Hours of crashing into the door, then leaping onto the roof, pacing like a guard dog from hell. Then the howl hits. Starts low, builds to a bone-shaking roar, then dips so deep it's like their skeletons are humming. After one last endless wail, silence drops like a brick. They hunker down till dawn. No fucking way they're stepping out sooner. They find claw marks gouged into the door, windows smashed, roof looking like a steel-toed asshole danced around up there. But the sandy soil? Not a single paw print. Just their own tracks. That's pretty fucked. Same year, Charles Walton's got his own creepy-ass brush near Meon Hill. For 9 days, he spots this mysterious black dog, shaggy, lurking, giving off bad vibes. Then his sister kicks the bucket, and soon after, Charles himself gets brutally offed, murdered in 1945. Nasty as hell. Rewind to 1930, near Buxton Lammas Church in Norfolk. Another guy's strolling solo when a big, shaggy black dog pops up out of nowhere. He goes to pet it, dumb move, and poof, it vanishes before his hand lands. Later, he finds out his brother dropped dead right at that exact fucking moment. Coincidence? Hell no. This dog's the death whisperer. Jump to 1972, and Nigel Leah's out on Cannock Chase when shit gets dark. He locks eyes with this enormous, jacked up black dog, glowing peepers cutting through the night like lasers. It stares him down, cold as hell, unblinking, before it backs off slow into the trees. Nigel's guts are churning, and 2 weeks later, bam, one of his buddies dies in a freak accident. This fucker's timing is unreal. Shows up, death follows. That gaze wasn't just creepy, it was a goddamn promise. Same year, Graham Grant's pulling an early shift at Gorleston Rescue HQ, scanning the beach through the pre-dawn gloom. He spots what looks like a big black dog a quarter-mile up. Nothing too weird, right? Except this bastard doesn't scamper off or duck behind a dune. It fucking blinks out. Gone. Like someone flipped off the universe's lights. No fade out, no dash, just there 1 second and boom, vanished the next. Graham's left blinking at empty sand, wondering what the hell he just saw. Normal dogs don't do that shit. Jump to the 1970s on the A12 near Blytheburg. Modern times don't scare this fucker off. A trucker's hauling late, headlights slicing fog when black Shuck lumbers across the road. It's huge, dwarfing his rig's hood. Eyes red as taillights, glowing through the haze. He slams on the brakes, tires screeching, and watches it pause, dead center, staring him down. The cab's cold. His CB radio crackles static, and he swears the air tastes like metal. It holds there, unhurried, then strides into the trees, silent as ever. He floors it home, pale, muttering about a ghost dog that owned the damn highway. One of my favorite modern encounters happened in 1988 on the lonely road from Norwich to Bauberg. A cyclist is pedaling along the dead of night when something massive and black overtakes him. It's running alongside his bike. And yes, it has those signature glowing eyes. Before our cyclist can properly panic, the dog suddenly charges ahead and blocks the road, forcing him to stop. Seconds later, a car comes screaming around the corner way too fast, right where the cyclist would have been. The car seems to hit the dog, but Shuck just fades away like the morning mist. Our cyclist later says, "All I can say is that on that night, the dog saved my life." In 2014, a dude named Jonathan Moore claimed he spotted Black Shuck while walking his dog near Blakeney Point on the North Norfolk coast. He said it was dusk, fog rolling in thick, when he saw a massive black shape, bigger than any damn dog he'd ever seen, loping across the dunes. Those glowing red eyes locked on him for a heartbeat before it vanished into the mist. No sound, just silence that made his skin crawl. He swore it wasn't a stray or a trick of the light. Too big, too wrong. This got picked up in a Discovery UK piece from September 27, 2024, digging into Black Shuck's lore. They didn't doubt him outright, just noted it as a chilling modern echo of the legend. Fast forward to 2019, and a woman walking near Overstrand, yep, home of Shuck's Lane, reported a run-in to the Eastern Daily Press on October 31st, 2019. She was out at twilight, air heavy with sea salt, when she spotted a hulking black figure pacing the cliff edge. She described it as calf-sized with green eyes flickering like swamp gas, and a stillness that fucked with her head. No wind, no birds, just that thing watching her. She bolted when it turned her way, and it was gone when she dared look back. Locals tied it to the Shuck, given the lane's rep, and the paper ran it as a Halloween treat. No debunking, just the raw account. Then there's 2022, near Whiz Beach, where a guy walking his kid along a quiet lane at night told the Barking Bugle he saw Black Shuck. It was late, moon barely cutting the dark, when this massive black bastard stepped out from the hedgerow. Eyes red as brake lights, staring right through him. He said it didn't move, just stood there, silent as a fucking corpse, while his kid whimpered. After what felt like forever, it melted into the shadows. He linked it to a 1980 sighting in the same area, insisting it was no coincidence. The site framed it as a legit modern sighting. No bullshit. We've just torn through some spine-chilling shit. Black Shuck pounding huts in 1945, shadowing death at Meon Hill and Norfolk, staring down Nigel in 72, and pulling a vanishing act on Gorleston Beach that same damn year. From wartime terror to modern-day creeps, this bastard's been leaving folks shaken with claw marks, dead silence and a vibe that screams trouble. These aren't just ghost stories, they're run-ins that stick to your ribs like cold mud. But what the fuck's driving this black dog? Foggy flukes or something darker? Hang tight, because we're about to rip into the explanations and shit's gonna get wild. I'm gonna kick off the explanations with the skeptics' theories. They've got some pretty lame ideas. First up, Black Shuck's just a big stray dog puffed up by fear and fog. Picture some mangy mutt wandering East Anglia, maybe a Great Dane or a Mastiff, looking extra spooky in the mist. Add a dash of panic and voila, you've got a monster. It's a clean, boring fix. Nature screwing with shaky eyes. Yeah, fuck that. Those church claw marks in 1577 weren't from Scooby-Doo's paws, and no dog's got eyes that glow like hell's headlights. There ain't no way in hell it's a kennel escapee. Next, the headspace doubters say it's all in our damn minds. Mass hysteria or lonely place tricks. Think a bunch of freaked out villagers or a solo traveler seeing shadows and losing it. In 1577, maybe the storm hyped the crowd into seeing a ghost dog. On the A12, maybe it's just fatigue playing games. It's all brain bullshit, no real beast required. Nice try, but that's total horseshit. Multiple people on the same day at 2 different locations report the same shit? That's not a group hallucination. That's something fucking up reality. Then there's the folklore angle. Some say Black Shuck's a cautionary tale to keep kids from wandering off into the dark wood. Picture medieval moms spinning a yarn. Stay inside or the big black dog will get you. It's a control tactic, a spooky story that stuck. Over time, it grew legs, literally, into a legend. Simple, practical, no ghosts needed. Fuck off with that. Those 1890 and 1970s sightings weren't bedtime stories. That was real folks who saw a real beast, not some nanny's fable. This shit's too raw to be fiction. Now, let's flip the script. Let's get into the believer side. This is where shit gets wild. Is Black Shuck a ghost dog, a demon, or a cursed spirit roaming free? Maybe it's a dead hound's soul bound to the moors, or a devil spat out of hell with a leash snapped. Some reckon it's a Viking warrior's spirit, cursed to prowl as a beast after some ancient fuck-up. Those glowing eyes and silent steps, that's supernatural juice. Something unbound, stalking with purpose. Here's the twist that'll mess with you. Some swear Black Shuck's a guardian, not just a doombringer. Imagine it pacing the coast, a spectral badass, keeping raiders or worse at bay, or guiding lost souls through fog so thick you can chew on it. That duality, death one night, salvation the next, makes it a force with its own damn rules. It's tied to East Anglia's bones, a protector with teeth, not just a mindless spook. That's the kind of legend that's legendary. Or maybe it's a cultural echo that's too fucking alive to ignore. Norse wolves, Christian devils, pagan marsh spirits. They crashed together in East Anglia like a fucked up dark supernatural sleepover. Black Shuck could be their spawn, a living relic of Odin's pack, or a hellhound that slipped its chains. Those 1577 church rampages? That's old world fury breaking through. A beast born from legend, but walking our dirt. It's not just a story, it's history with claws. So, where does that leave us? The truth's as murky as the goddamn moors. What do you think? Skeptics want a neat box, stray dog, crazy minds, old wives' tales. But those claw marks and trucker stares laugh in their faces. Believers see a ghost, a guardian, a mythic badass tearing through time. From Bungay to the A12, Black Shuck's left tracks, literal and not, that fuck off easy answers. Pick your poison, or just sit with the chill. This thing's a riddle wrapped in shadows and presented on a silver platter of what the fuck. Well, holy shit, we made it to the end of this wild-ass ride. We've tracked the Black Shuck from its medieval lore, those foggy East Anglian roots, through centuries of tales, all the way to late-night scares that make you lock your damn doors. From church-crashing chaos in 1577 to that trucker's A12 stare-down, this beast has left a trail of goosebumps and claw marks. We dug into the name, the glowing eyes, the Norse vibes, even that freaky helper twist. Every bit of it's been a trip through the shadows. Fuck, what a journey. So here's the kicker, and it's up to you to chew on it. Real phantom or just a shadow in the mist? What do you figure? I've tossed out the skeptical bullshit, stray dogs and head games, and leaned hard into the believer's take. Ghost dog, guardian, or some ancient badass spirit. But it's your turn now. Is this thing stalking the moors for real, or just a trick of the fog? Either way, it's been screwing with heads since forever, and I'm not betting against it. This legend's lasted centuries, and it's not fading anytime fucking soon. It's carved into East Anglia like a scar. Pub signs, old pamphlets, whispers over pints. From Bungay's scorched doors to Norfolk's silent lanes, Black Shuck's got staying power that laughs at time. It's not some dusty myth. It's a living, breathing piece of the darkness that keeps clawing its way back. Shit, it's practically family out there. Heard a weird bark lately? Maybe Shuck's still out there, pacing the night. Picture it. You're alone, fog rolling in, and something growls low just behind the light. Those red eyes could be waiting, sizing you up, friend or fucked. If this video creeped you the fuck out, tap that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss out on more of my fucked up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. So, what do you think? Black Shuck, a cryptid, a ghost, or just wild imagination? Let me know in the comments. And if you really want to do me a solid, click on that join button below the title and become part of my YouTube membership. For as little as $2.99, y'all can help me out more than you know. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.